Welcome to 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. He has gray hair, he has a gray beard, and he wears glasses like the guy in the artwork. Oh, and the guy in the artwork is better looking. Now, here is Gray Hair Dave.
Well, thank you, 11 Labs, for that wonderful introduction. How are you today, folks? Gray hair Dave here. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How are you? I hope you're doing great. I'm doing pretty good here. It's been a busy week here at Gray Hair Productions, and in Gray Hair Dave's life. We have some changes here in Gray Hair Productions. We're going big time, folks. We ordered and we got a new Mac Mini M4 with a 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs hard drive, and I swapped everything over. So that took, with me working for the mouse during the day and coming home at night and taking care of those things. And one night in there was physical therapy. I've been putting it all back together as it is, and of course, cleaning the desk, and so you're rearranging and you're arranging and you're getting things back up to where they were. And I thought it was going to be a quick and simple boom, boom, boom. I put my laptop next to the Mac Mini and everything would swap right over. Now that was an option, and then I thought about it for a little bit, and I thought, why don't I just do the smart thing? I backed up my laptop onto a external hard drive. I've got a 1 terabyte SanDisk. Put it on there. It took about, 15 minutes to copy what it had to copy over. And then I put it in my M4. It took about 5 minutes to download. It was fast. My gosh, that's fast. Now, I had thought about originally trading my my laptop in and using that money towards the M4. But I decided to go a different way with that and keep it, because as good as the M1 is, the M1 MacBook Air, it was starting to struggle a little bit when I was doing audio and video recording. Now let me explain to you what I mean by that. So I'm recording audio on Logic Pro, which is an Apple product. That's my DAW. And I was also recording video via Ecamm Live at the same time, because I was making a video about making and recording audio for podcasts for boomer podcasters. And you might have heard that go out last week on the last podcast, that's what I was doing on 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. Well, there was a couple of times there was a throttling problem, and it slowed things down quite a lot. Plus, I'm running a 34-inch monitor off my M1 MacBook, or my M1 MacBook, and of course that takes up a little bit of juice, so not a lot, Plus I've got an audio interface plugged in and a stream deck and a shuttle and everything else that goes along with that. So I've decided to go ahead and pull the plug in. And I ordered one, and it got here in a couple of days, and of course I set it up, and I'm almost there on everything. I think the only thing is I haven't set up yet are the printer, and the shuttle hasn't really been set up right properly. I want to rearrange the stream deck. I'm going to get something to get it up off the ground, or off the desk. Got a few things picked out, but got all squared away with that. So there's the first subject of the day. And by the way, folks, I do love it. So far, I love it. I see, you go online and YouTube and you go say, oh, I used this Mac Mini for 3 months and I hate it. Well, too bad. Too bad for you. This is my office computer now. We all grew up originally people of my age with desktops, which was a machine that sat on the floor with a cable going up to your monitor. So this is a whole lot better. But yeah, I'm keeping the M1 for a while. I will see what I want to do about upgrading that. May upgrade that to another another MacBook Air M4, but not right now. I'm not in a hurry, you know. So that's that. Okay, and let's change subjects now as to some of the things that are going on around the world that are just a tad crazy, you know. My gosh, Israel bombing Iran, and now I was watching the news last night, and I'm recording this on January 3rd. I'm on not January. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm recording this on June 14th. I did a recording yesterday to test everything on June 13th, and that was Friday the 13th. And then there was a lot of noise around the house, so I just decided to trash it all and start all over. But last night I noticed that Iran is now striking back. This is a terrible thing. Maybe it's because of all the years I've been on this earth. I've never understood war. I understand what it is. Don't get me wrong. It's like the Ukrainian war with Russia. Okay, Russia's trying to take over Ukraine, and they're trying to stop them. Okay, that I understand. But Russia and Iran, there's a whole country right in the middle, right? For Saudi Arabia. Bomb goes wrong, and boy, it's all over for that. But my gosh, I mean, I understand Israel does not want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Okay. Iran doesn't understand why the world doesn't want them to have a nuclear weapon. We do. We don't want them sending it anywhere. Nuclear weapons should be banned and gone forever. I am not this kind of guy that's out there, getting rid of nukes. You know, I'm not the protester type. I'm not the, woe is me, the world's going to end because of nuclear bombs. It could. But if it does, we won't know. But is it necessary? I mean, my gosh, is it necessary? I don't know. I don't live in those countries. I mean, all those people over in Iran were doing there that day was just going about their business, trying to live their lives. And then all of a sudden, boom, there comes the bombs. Same thing with Israel. All of a sudden, the people they're telling them to get to the bomb shelters and all these. And it's like, my gosh. I am very, 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 very lucky to live where I do. And for those of you, if you're listening and you're over in those countries, boy, my heart goes out for you. I wish that there was something I could do to help you out with this. I really do. My gosh, I feel for you. I pray for you. Even though we may not be of the same religion, I pray for you. I am so sad for you. And the next thing I wanted to talk about, not that I'm not diminishing that, but it kind of goes in with what we're talking about, is the riots here in LA and around the United States. And I've done some research into this, and I'm kind of surprised, but not surprised at what's going on. Now, don't get me wrong, all of this is stemmed from illegal immigration. Okay? They are protesting the fact that ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Services, are all masked up, and because you can't see their faces, and they're coming in with warrants, arresting people and sending them to jail, and then they're bouncing them out of the country. I don't see a problem with this. Now, don't get me wrong, not all of them are bad. I would suggest that the percentages in my mind are 5 to 10% are here to do bad things, and the other 90 to 95% just want a better life. But there's ways to do it, and I understand. But, this country was built on protest. It was. But it was built on peaceful protest. Now you'll say, well, Dave, what about your good old Tea Party? Well, there's a line in one of the movies. It come off West Wing, and where the character said, "Never has a war been declared so elegantly by they tossed tea into the river. I mean, come on, that's not a big deal, but it led to war. But it's always over land or it's always over religion. And here, these riots are over people being here illegally. I don't want to get deep into the weeds here, folks, because I don't want to offend anybody. And my personal opinions on this are my personal opinions, but I give you a lot of those here. My opinion is this. If you want to be in this country, you should come in the right way. I really do. I don't think you should have the right to vote until you become an American citizen. And you hear the argument, well, they're underpaid migrant workers. Yeah. They're doing the job that Americans don't want to do. Yeah. But if those jobs paid a good wage, Americans would want to do them. Some of them are menial, don't get me wrong, and they're hard. And the people that come in here and take those jobs, they work hard every day. I don't think we should be bouncing people out who work hard every day, but it's a long-fought battle, and it's all, of course, because of our president. Everybody hates our president, but look at what he's doing. He's made some amazing progress that wasn't made in the years before that. You may hate me for what I've said there, but I'm sorry, sometimes I just got to say what I've got to say. So we're going to move away from that before I go too deep in the woods on there. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was the fatal crash of that Boeing 787 Dreamliner, where everybody but one person died. And congratulations to that guy that survived. Survivor remorse is going to set in one of these days for this guy, and good luck to you. I'm an airline lover. I love airplanes. I love watching them. I love being around them. I worked in the airline industry for a lot of years because of my love for aircraft and everything around them. And the 787 has been around for 11 years with no problems. It's still the safest form of transportation. I don't know what happened with the maintenance on that thing. We're going to find out. I have a feeling we're going to find out because of the countries that it was being flown in and out of, that maybe the maintenance wasn't as up to par as it would be if it were coming out of a larger country. And I don't mean to offend the mechanics in that country, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. And I pray for everybody who was on that plane. So enough of that. Things are going to get crazy here at Gray Hair Productions because I am ramping it up. Yes, this is the weekend to ramp everything up. We're going to start advertising. We're going to start pushing things forward. No, I didn't win the lottery. But all these things that I'm going to start doing, that's what I've been researching and muddling around with. And it's time to put the foot to the gas and get going here. So if you know somebody who wants to start a podcast, or if you want to start a podcast, go to 5minuteswithgrayhairdave.com. That's the number 5minuteswithgrayhairdave.com, or boomerpodcasters.com. Bottom right-hand corner, any page is a little microphone. Click on that little microphone, leave me your email address. Remember, I do not sell email addresses. I'm stubborn. I'm selfish. I keep them for myself. Leave me a message. Let me know it's something you might be interested in. If you know somebody who doesn't know what a podcast is, doesn't know how to find one, doesn't know how to play one, doesn't know what genres are available, do me a favor, will you? Show them. Show them how to do it. And while you're at it, use me as the example how to find 5 minutes of grayhairdave.com. Remember, that's the number 5, not the letter 5. Although online, if you type in 5 minutes with Gray Hair Dave with the number or the letters, I pop you over to my regular website. Also, folks, don't forget, if you see somebody you don't know today and you're out and about, smile. It'll make their day. It'll in turn turn around and make yours. Remember, be happy. Pray for those in Israel, in Iran, and on that airplane, if you could. And pray for us over here that we get through all this craziness with as little incident as possible, because it's all well and good until somebody dies. Let's hope we get rid of this or take care of it before somebody dies. So on behalf of Gray Hair Dave here at Gray Hair Productions, y'all have a great day, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.